How's everybody doing tonight? Hey, first I want to say thank you to Marie, thank you to John, thank you to Brandy, thank you to everyone that put this on. And I do want to just take a second to really recognize Marie, because she literally has held down Princeton for a really, really long time. So can we please give her a round of applause? And she has also helped me out too with her advice and her assistance. And so my name is Joshua Murray, and I'm running to be Collin County's next county judge. And the county judge is like the mayor of the county, and what their job is to work with the elected officials, whether they be at the federal, the state, or even at the local municipalities, so your city council members, your mayors, and also your commissioners, to deliver services that include infrastructure, justice, public health, and public safety. As the chief executive officer of the county judge is also in charge of the emergency management response. When we think about infrastructure failures, when we think about public safety or public health. And so the person that's been in charge of the pandemic response for the last few years is my opponent. If we think back to when your electricity went out and people were running around trying to help people, I remember Princeton, Carlos, people were running around. Our county judges really nowhere to be found. And we had people throughout the county that died. We have more than 1.1 million people that this person's supposed to represent. And what that means is that this individual, he has the opportunity to help 1.1 million people. And during some of the most divisive times, if we think back to 2019, if we think back to June of 2020, all right, if you carry on and we go through the pandemic, if we think back to the freeze, if we think back to just every type of national divide there has been, my opponent has been fanning the flames on this divide, and it is wrong of him. As the representative of 1.1 million people, you must be able to do a few things, and that's communicate with people. And as the chief executive officer of one of the largest employers in the county, you must be able to work with your department heads, to work with your labor force, and to be able to communicate effectively with them. A couple of things that are my priorities for my campaign are investing in our county employees, primarily our entry-level and our mid-level employees, because right now, if we don't, later on, we're not going to have as experienced employees. Right now, our turnover rate is to the extent to where the age of our average worker and average employee is now 0 to 5. That's the bulk of our workforce. We do not have the experience that are lined up in order to provide for each one of these departments. Another focus of mine is emergency management. It's a data-driven response to emergency management. If you're looking for the candidates going to mandate that you got to go get a shot or mandate that you got to get a mask, I am not your candidate. This might not be the room to say that, but this is how I am, and so I'm going to tell you. And the reason why is this, is that I believe that with a data-driven response to instances of public health, with me being transparent, with me being honest with you, and with me providing you with data and facts, I believe you are responsible enough to make a decision that is effective to yourself and to your family. I also believe that by doing this, I will have the same amount of turnout, if not a better response of buying in. Because the minute in Texas that you tell a Texan, this is what you're going to do, a lot of Texans say, that's not what I'm going to do. And so as county judge, I'm committed to providing a data-driven response to public health and public safety that is done so in a transparent way. And if you wanted the information, you'll be able to find it. The last key point that I wanted to cover tonight, and I think that this impacts Princeton a lot, and that is, as your next county judge, I will oppose all incentivized residential developments. And what this... I usually never get a clap for that because most people don't know what they are. But Princeton does, like I do in Lavon, right? Because I will tell you, it impacts our school districts. And you see your school districts come to you every 4 years and they say to you, I need money for infrastructure to support the growth. And they need you to approve the bonds that they're calling for. If not, your kids are going to be in some shack of a building, a portable building, do you not love your kids? Like, yeah, I love my kids, all right, I got a vote. But if we really think about it, by incentivizing those developers, by forcing that growth, it overburdens our school districts. It makes our school districts have to come and ask you for that money. It makes our school districts' tax dollars increase. But it just doesn't stop there. You can just see it better because they got to come to you and ask you for the bonds. But if you think back, if you've been in Collin County for a while like I have, think back 5-6 years ago, the cost of your water, the cost of your electricity, the cost and the consistency in which your trash is picked up, the quality of education and the amount that you are paying for it, and the amount you pay for it is through property taxes and through bonds. And so if we want to talk about supporting a low tax rate, it's done through legislative reforms at the state level. And as your next county judge, I will oppose all incentivized residential developments. I'm committed to fighting back against our state legislatures, whoever they are, even if it's one of y'all. I am committed to fighting against them to say we have got to reform property taxes when it comes to schools because it is not sustainable. You cannot have people within Collin County spending 40-50% of their income on rent. It does not work. It will not maintain us through. And the last thing that I will do to ensure that we have efficient water, that we have efficient electricity, because I hear you, Princeton, I've been out here with you. The electricity's been spotty over in Lavon too, all right? But what I will do is I will set up a county level liaison. So at the county level, when Princeton has something going on, the mayor can call and say, hey, we've got this continuous issue, and we're going to track that throughout the county so that I can notify Encore, so that I can notify North Texas Municipal Water District, and so that I can actually keep on them to know what the infrastructure status is. And if we have continuous problems, it gives us one central point so that we can actually get things done. The last thing that I'll leave you with, unlike my opponent, he looks for problems. He looks for ways to divide you. He looks for ways that are indicative of a tyrant that cannot even stand on principles because he has them. What he must do is he must use fear in order to divide you, and he must scare you of me. All right? And if you're scared of me, come talk to me, and I hope that I can alleviate your concerns. But as your next county judge, my job will be to serve all people of Collin County with respect in an accountable and transparent fashion. Once again, my name's Joshua Murray. We're going to be your next county judge.